Just a Concerned Citizen by Damos on AO3. Chapter 2. Group Chat. Izuku hadn't done this in a long time. The last time he had written in one of his notebooks was the day everything fell apart. He still had them, of course, all 13 of them, the last one still singed and waterlogged and unused for nearly 10 years. But that day after work, he had bought another notebook, carried it home, and started writing. It wasn't exactly like the old stuff he used to focus on as a kid. Sure, there was still a little bit of quirk analysis, but it was mostly about who patrolled where and when, what kind of missions they took, and what kind of missions they would be good for. He started with the heroes he had been following most closely, the heroes that he was pretty sure the world was following most closely right now. Izuku had been focused on UA's Class A from the beginning, because that was the class Katsuki Bakugo was in. He had known since he was 4 that Bakugo was going to be a great hero. It had been really, really weird watching his childhood friend and bully go through emotional growth from a distance. Izuku had watched the video clip of the second-year sports festival an embarrassing amount of times. The one where Bakugo had fought the hero known as Red Riot and won. And instead of gloating and grandstanding, he had pulled the other boy to his feet, and they had shared a fierce smile and agreed that it was a good fight. And well, even now, Bakugo was still known for being kind of an asshole, but he definitely toned it down since middle school, at least to other heroes. There was no telling how he would treat a quirkless, good-for-nothing college dropout these days. But he was better, at least on camera. And his class was filled with people who were also all amazing. Everyone had started really noticing when they were third years, but the class had drawn eyes from the day they had started UA. Because of that, those were the heroes Izuku had wound up focusing on the most. The homemade posters he had pinned to his wall were of Arabity and Creation and Charge Boat. The heroes whose patrol routes he was figuring out were Shota and Invisible Girl and Mindjack. Well, Mindjack was a special case. He was the one in class who had gone fully underground after graduation, making information on him much harder to come across. Though, in Izuku's opinion, that only made it more fun. He had been good at this sort of thing once, but it had been so long that his hands started cramping after a few pages. Typing would have been easier and faster, but it felt like a bad idea to put that information on a computer that he was often using to visit sketchy websites. And when he couldn't make himself write anymore, that was exactly where he went. The going was slow, but to Izuku's surprise, it was going. It wasn't for lack of material. If he really wanted to, Izuku was pretty sure he could put at least 20 drug dealers behind bars in one night. But he held back, insecurity telling him that if he sent everything he found out, not only would the heroes start ignoring him, but he would also probably get caught by the criminals. Busts like these were the reasons heroes patrolled in the first place, so it's not likely they needed his help or anything. All he was doing was looking into things that heroes were too busy to have time for. Plus, if he got the dealers arrested, how was he supposed to find anything about the magnifactors? It took a solid week digging, mostly through old social media accounts this time, but he sent his secondary email a week after the first. From Concerned Citizen 81904 at gpmail.com to tentacle at hero.net. Subject: Fukada Drug Ring. Apologies if I've gotten my information wrong, but I believe you are with the agency heading the investigation on the Fujima drug ring. The police had released that the VP of the Kadama Productionaries was a minor suspect as a farmer for the chemicals, but had to drop the case due to lack of information. Assuming the case is still being investigated, there are a few people worth questioning that I don't think have been yet. I also think it would be worth looking into his wife, and the charity she has in her name as well. I've attached information and some pendulent links. Good luck if you end up pursuing this. Files attached. He didn't get a response, but he hadn't really been hoping for one at the start of all this. If all he could do was try and draw attention to things, that's what he was going to do. The next week, he sent out 2 more emails. The underground fighting ring had been pretty easy to pick out, and the coordinated group of Buglers had been less so. That one had been doubly annoying, because he'd gathered the information, and when the close reference what hero he should try and contact, he had been faced with ground zero, with Katsuki Bakugo. He should have just sent the email, but he couldn't make himself do it. Something in him screaming that he would immediately get caught. Caught doing what? He taught himself, browsing the internet. In the end, he had picked out another hero that was nearby. Neither of them would read the message, but if they did, he felt more safe. The response he got, less than a day later, left him even more stunned than the first one. From Shoto at hero.net to Concerned Citizen 18904. Subject: Burglars. Thanks. So, Pro Hero Shota, or at least someone in his agency, had seen his email and responded right away and thanked him for it. That was when Izuku knew he wasn't going to be giving up on this anytime soon. Over time, he started to work out a system. Heroes rarely announced what cases they were working on, unless it was a high-profile thing. But their movements still made it obvious, the sort of activity they were up to, and more importantly, the things that they weren't doing. He never sent an email with anything less than concrete evidence, though he had a lot of very solid theories. As the days passed, he started to form a ranking in the hero agencies. Most of the larger agencies didn't respond to him, as he expected, but with a surprising number of them did. The actual heroes weren't looking at the messages. He was pretty sure, but the responses came with promises that the message had been looked into and forwarded to someone who would. Smaller independent agencies tended to thank him for the tips and asked him not to get into trouble, and he felt pretty certain about his hypothesis about underground heroes not getting as much mail because Mindjacked always responded to him. They weren't all good, though. From Ingenium.2 at hero.net to Concerned Citizen 81904. Subject: Suspicious activity in Nohara. Thank you for your message. The effort you put into this is appreciated, but please leave the criminal investigation to the professionals. Doing otherwise would border on illegal vigilante activity. On a fresh page in his notebook, Izuku made a column with the header agencies to avoid contacting. Class A group chat. Please do not change this. Sexy or Xenomorph. Yo, Curie, I saw the news. You guys wrapped up that investigation so fast, bro. What happened to, oh, this is so hard, I'm not cut out for detective work stuff? Hard handyman. Lol, thanks. I actually didn't do much of anything. We got an email the other day that was basically like, hey, here's literally everything you need to know to solve this case. Which I know sounds sketchy as hell, but it actually turned out to be right. Unlimited fly paper. Oh, no way, lol. We got a few like that too. All from the same person, I think. All like, oh, no, I don't know anything about the case, really, but I think this would help. I thought those were hoaxes. I only saw them because the intern who usually does email stuff is out sick. Pikachu 2. Wait. Oh my god, is that the Concerned Citizen person? My leading theory is that they're, like, a criminal mastermind trying to take down the competition. Hardman. Yeah, it was them. Didn't realize they were well known. Ingenium. My agency has gotten several emails of theirs as well. I agree that they seem suspicious. Tired, TM. I actually have something to say about this. Sexy or Xenomorph. Oh my god. Ultimate flying paper. Oh my god. Pikachu 2. Oh my god. Blank. I can't believe it. Mindjack decides to join us in the group chat? Spaced out. Don't be mean or he'll leave. Tired TM. This sort of reaction is exactly why I don't talk in here. Spaced out. See? Tired TM. Anyways, as far as I know, the concerned citizen person hasn't done anything illegal. Their info has been good so far, but obviously double check it. But I'm still keeping an eye on them. I guess as a personal project, but also will be useful if it turns out they are a criminal. Pikachu 2. Wow, imagine, Shinsou having an interest in something? Tired TM. Ignoring that for your sake. Basically, what I'm saying is if you find out more about them, send me the info. Ingenium. Will do. Alright, so in the author's notes, there is the chat names on who is who. So Sexy or Xenomorph is Mina. Hard Handyman, clearly Kirishima. Ultimate Flypaper, Sero. Pikachu 2, Dinky. Ingenium, Ida. Tired TM, Shinsou. Blank, Hagakure. Spaced Out, Uraraka. Right? Just for those who aren't aware on who's who and stuff like that. On to my notes that I want to talk about this chapter, right? So, Ida's a hypocrite. Sorry. I've been wanting to talk about this. Ida's like, you shouldn't do this, as it could be considered vigilanteism. Man, you tried to kill someone in your high school days. Calm the fuck down. You trying to kill someone in your high school days. Calm down. Get out of your mighty Heidi horse. Also, Izuku's technically doing nothing illegal. He checked. So, yeah. That's what I wanted to say about that. I don't know. It's just, the whole, like, don't do that, blah, blah, blah. No. So, we're already getting to see that Shinsou's somewhat interested in Izuku. Not in the romantic sense, but in the sense of, like, is this a criminal? Right? So, we already see that Izuku is starting to head up on this. Getting his notebooks again. He's getting his life again. He's finally actually living and not just existing. Which, thank you to that one person in the comments who worded my words perfectly. That is what I was trying to portray and I just couldn't find the words for it. Thank you so much for being my words. Because sometimes I'm really bad at words. Which is hilarious considering I literally have a channel where it's literally just me reading and then giving you my opinion in the end. Which requires me to use my words strategically to convey my emotions and thoughts. And if I don't have a good, if I can't do that well, then what am I doing? Okay, no, just some days it's worse than other days, and sometimes there's just a really intense thing or topic that I really want to talk about, but I can't really convey it through words, So, thank you to that one person in my comments. I very much appreciate you. But, yeah, we're seeing that he's really getting into specifically Class 1A, or Class A, I guess, because they're not Class 1A anymore, or Class 2A, or Class 3A. They're just Class A because they're graduated. They're pro heroes. This is a future fic. It is, aged up and stuff. So this is very interesting. And I find it super interesting, and I can't wait for the next time. Should I read chapter summaries? I feel like it's something I should probably start doing. Oh, never mind. I'm not reading that chapter summary. Warning though, for next chapter, which is sexual assault. It doesn't happen, but it is framed in a similar way. Starts at, he knew he was being creepy, and ends around, you got a fucking problem, man? We're a little busy. Oh, okay, yes, I remember what happened in that one. Yeah, it's, warning for anybody who doesn't really enjoy sexual assault, kidnapping, stuff like that. So, yeah, warning for next chapter. But as always, my raindrops, make sure to eat, sleep, drink water, take your meds. Have a wonderful day or night. Link to my Discord server and socials are down in the description. Subscribe to see more of my content, and thank you so much for watching.